Hi, I'm Len Ganley, and this is my submission for the honor certification for the full stack development course. The goal of this project was to create a server that would allow for the lightweight front-end board game organization app to communicate with MongoDB and the Board Game Atlas API in a secure fashion. So if we go over to Postman, we're going to sign up a new user, Nucamp Grad 23, and all of this is being handled by my authentication here using Passport. So now that the user is signed up, now we can log in, and we'll grab this token, pass it into authentication, and now we can explore the app further. So if we go over to library, since this is a new user, we don't have a library set up yet. So you'll see that the Nucamp Grad 23 does not have any games in the library. So we can make a post and include a couple of game IDs in the body. And these are from the Board Game Atlas API. I'm just putting them in as an array. So if we pass those in, now you can see I just returned the array back to the client to confirm that they were loaded properly. So now if we go back to Git, we'll send the request in, and it will not only return the game IDs, but it will go and fetch the data from the Board Game Atlas API, returning the data. So none of this is being stored in my own database. This is all external. Delete will just wipe out the entire library. I return all of the user's information to demonstrate that the library is now empty. So if we head over to, we'll do another git, and we'll grab one of these IDs. So if for some reason the user wants to grab information that is not in their library, they can grab this and it will return the data straight from the Board Game Atlas API. However, with a post, now you can take this game, and with a post request, it will return the ID so that you know it's now in your library. And if we go back to our library, you can see that the game is now in the user's library. Let's see, let's put these all back in. So now you can put these in and it will return all of them. But if you go to post and try to put a game in that's already there, it will let you know that the game is already in the user's library. Now you can also individually delete games this way. So if you put this ID in, you can delete it, and you'll see that it is now the only game that is missing from the stack, and it returns the array so that the user knows what's going on there. So for the challenges I faced, first and foremost was just figuring out how to organize my MongoDB database. I ended up just going with the user and storing the information there. I thought about trying to do a separate library database for storing the games, but I thought since I'm only storing the game IDs, it would make sense just to store them inside an array inside the user. The URLs for the Board Game Atlas were pretty intense. They can get very long. So the Board Game Atlas, the BGA app root or API root is stored over here. So the API root, that's just the base that I needed to start things off, and it runs up until you can start putting in the game IDs. And then if we go back to library router, so from there, then we put in the information that we want to get back from the API, which in this case is an array of the game IDs. And then we followed up with the BGA library constant, which up here you can see is all of this. And this is just what turns back, or what returns a nice and tidy list from the Board Game Atlas. I also have my own private BGA client ID. I have it registered as an app so that I can use it, use the API. All in all, I can't believe how much I've learned. It's been a real adventure, and I'm looking forward to starting the next chapter with everything I learned from the bootcamp. So thank you for taking the time and checking out my portfolio project.